So the Wisconsin Supreme Court overturned the governor's orders Tuesday, and the election is going to proceed. This is amazing in the middle of a pandemic.
Election confusion just hours after Governor Tony Evers issued an order to suspend in-person voting tomorrow. The state Supreme Court overturned that order. Joyce is at the state capitol in Madison tonight. Joyce, that means that tomorrow's election will move forward.
Patrick, so much going on here at the state capitol today. Now, shortly after Governor Evers issued his order, Republican state leaders took an appeal and filed a motion with the state Supreme Court asking them to keep the election tomorrow. And just about an hour ago, the state Supreme Court issued its ruling saying that indeed the election will happen tomorrow.
So wouldn't this create a state constitutional crisis? Who has more jurisdiction here, the governor or the Supreme Court? I mean, isn't it? If I was the governor, you still control the National Guard and whatever, and you could still, we'll see what happens. I mean, didn't that what happened in Ohio? Isn't that what happened in Ohio? Didn't that governor override the court?
No, the health official.
How can the health official had more power than the governor?
In Ohio, evidently.
Now, you may recall Governor Evers previously opposed moving the election, but he said circumstances changed. The growing number of coronavirus cases, as well as the fear of being able to staff the polling places, prompted his decision, his order, that the election be moved until June.
But as municipalities are consolidating polling locations and absent legislative or court action, I cannot in good conscience stand by and do nothing. The bottom line is that I have an obligation to keep people safe, and that's why I signed this executive order today.
Now, that was Governor Evers' statement before the Supreme Court decision this afternoon. Again, that decision 4-2, with Justice Daniel Kelly recusing himself because he is up for election tomorrow. And within the hour, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald reacted to the Supreme Court decision with this statement. Let me read some of the excerpts. Quote, "The state's highest court has spoken. The governor can't unilaterally move the date of the election." They add, "The safety and health of our citizens have always been our highest concern. That's why we advocated for everyone to vote absentee. We continue to believe that citizens should be able to exercise their right to vote at the polls on Election Day, should they choose to do so."
So this is from Politico. The Wisconsin Supreme Court blocked Governor Tony Evers' late executive order, meaning the state's presidential primary. Okay, we just saw the latest chaotic turn, blah, blah. The state Supreme Court split 4-2 along ideological lines, with Justice Daniel Kelly, who was up for re-election, abstaining. Evers, who had previously maintained that he alone did not have the authority. So we saw all that. Okay. So Governor Tony Evers, this is his tweet. On April 1st, he said, "We have three branches of government to ensure a system of checks and balances, and questions about our elections typically rely on all three playing a role. If I could have changed the election on my own, I would have, but I can't without violating state law." So, but he actually tried to anyway. Evers issued a stay-at-home order last month as part of the administration's efforts to fight coronavirus. The virus directs us as to what our decision-making is, not human beings. And clearly I'm following the science, as I always have, the Democratic governor told Politico shortly before announcing the order. But Republicans and leaders challenged it. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has received requests for more than 1.2 million absentee ballots. About 725,000 have been mailed back so far. County clerks are struggling to get all of the absentee ballots out to those who have requested them, and they're working around the clock to count the new ones that have been sent back. Polls show Biden with a massive lead over Sanders in Wisconsin. The latest Marquette University survey of Wisconsin found Biden with a 62% to 34% lead over Sanders. Neither candidate has been advertising or visiting the state. The Wisconsin Election Commission had continued its preparations for the Tuesday elections even after Evers' orders, noting the possibility of a court could block his order. In a letter to the state clerks, Megan Wolf, the administrator of the commission, said that they should still be preparing for the election. Our republic must continue to function, and the many local government positions on the ballot must be filled so that municipalities can swiftly respond to the crisis at hand. That was Assembly Speaker Robin Vos and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald said in a joint statement. Evers' executive order also sought to extend the term of local and state officials serving in offices that were due to be elected on Tuesday. Hundreds of local elections were scheduled for Tuesday, along with the contested state Supreme Court. So there you go. The Supreme Court overturned it. So Now, this happened in Ohio, but then it still got stopped. This is nuts. You guys are there. The country is being, the people, especially right now today in Wisconsin, your Supreme Court is being, those people are sociopaths. So we'll see what happens. Steph, now, did you pay attention enough to, it doesn't seem to me, so they're going to still have in-person voting?
Yes, and they've reduced the amount of polling places that they had. I mean,
well, this is going to bunch people up even more if you reduce the polling places, the amount of them.
But Jimmy, they're going to be smart, and they're going to have 6 feet between everybody at every moment, and there won't be any elderly person that comes in. And so I'm sure they're not touch screens. And I'm sure everybody who's working at the polling sites will be properly trained, as far as how to make sure to sanitize after every person.
Right. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?